Hey guys, it's Tim. Welcome back to my video series on Meraki in the campus. In this video, I'll show you how to configure a Meraki MS350 stack in the closet, as well as how to build an aggregation link between the 350 and the 425. In this lab topology here, you can see I've already created a 425 stack. We've called it CCIE TIM Core Switch, as well as we have a default route to the internet or our MX firewall. So first, let's go ahead and jump into our Meraki dashboard, and we'll go to switch stacks, and we can see here's our 425 stack, kind of in one nice dashboard view here. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to back to the switches page. We can see I've added my two MS350 switches here. I've renamed them. They're connected to the 425s with 10 gig links. And these links by default are trunk mode, so they're going to be spanning tree enabled, right? So one's going to be active, one's going to be passive. We can see CCIE TIM 425 core switch 1, and then we'll jump back over to the switches page, and we'll go to switch 2, and the same thing. We'll click on this port. We can see here's switch 2. So really neat that we can see that visibility in the Meraki dashboard. So let's go ahead and first configure our switch stacks. We see that these two switches auto-discovered each other with the 40 gig links. So we'll go ahead and hit provision stack, call this CCIE TIM closet stack, create, and we'll go ahead and click on this closet stack to validate, and we can see the stack is created. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create port aggregation on port 25 on the closet side, and then we're going to configure aggregation on the core side. So let's go ahead to the switch ports page. This is a neat view because this pulls in all 4 switches in our network, and we can search across the 2 switches. So first we're going to drop down, we're going to look for port 25, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to edit these guys. Make sure that they have unified config, so update. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit the aggregate port. So what we did was we just create an aggregation port on the closet side. The next thing we're going to do is search for port 1 on the aggregation side. So we'll go ahead and hit port 1. And we'll go ahead and edit the config, make sure there's unified config. And then we'll go ahead and aggregate these 2 ports. So I gave this a few minutes to catch up here. The dashboard usually takes about 30 to 60 seconds to catch up with our changes. What we can see here is if we go to the switch stacks page, we click on the core stack and we go to port 1. We can see that port 1 is in our aggregation group. Here's the ports on the core side that are in the port channel. So you can see port 1 on switch 1, port 1 on switch 2. And then we can see that they're aggregated at a 20 gigs speed here. And then the next thing that we can do is we can jump over to switch stacks page, and we can see here's our closet stack, and port 25 is in the aggregation link here. We can see that port 25 is in the aggregation link here. We're aggregating at 20 gigs. And then we can jump over to switch stacks, and we can go down to this link here on port 25, and we can see the same thing. So we've successfully set up a port channel in a matter of probably about 30 seconds, and then giving ourselves about another 30 seconds to catch up here. The other cool thing is if we want to go over to the switch ports page, we can quickly search for aggregated links, and we can edit these. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we can only allow VLANs 1, 55, 77, and 999 across these aggregation circuits. Let's go ahead and update 2 ports. And okay, we're good to go from here. So we've successfully configured the aggregation links. What I'm going to do is quickly show you how to configure the ports on these 350s. So we're going to go over to switch ports page. We're going to configure ports 1 through 15 on the CCIE TIM closet stack as HR ports. So we're going to do 1 through 15, and we can see we can quickly filter all of these switch ports here. So both switch 1 and 2, ports 1 through 15, we're going to edit these and we're going to make these HR ports. So 77, we're going to tag these HR ports. Go ahead, hit update 30 ports. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do ports 16 through, go ahead and do ports 16 through 20, and we're going to make these ports for IT. And we'll do port 55, VLAN 55. And then we're going to do the remaining ports. So we're going to do 21 to 24. And we're going to make these guest ports. We'll go ahead and clear out our filters. And then you can see how easy it was to configure those ports. So if I want to see which ports are in HR, all I have to do is search for HR. If I want to see which ports are in IT, we just have to search for IT and then guest. Boom. So what you've seen in this video is we successfully configured the MS350 stack. We've configured a port channel between the stack and the core. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and stop this video. We'll start the third and final video, and I'll show you how to set up OSPF between the 425 core and the Cisco data center core.